Welcome to the latest and supposedly greatest of our journeys with the Asterix series. So, let's do a bit of a recap here. We looked at Asterix the Gull, the original, early installment Weirdness Ahoy, Asterix and Cleopatra, the one that would set the norm, the 12 Tasks of Asterix, the first take and pretty successful take of doing an original tale, Asterix in Britain. I remember that was a thing. Asterix versus Caesar. One of the lesser ones. In fact, if you were to ask me, probably the weakest of these. Asterix and the Big Fight. The weird one. We've also done Asterix the Mansions of the Gods, which is another goodie. So today, we're looking at, well, the one that takes place in my country. Because when you think about it, each of us technically have representation with this series except for Pedro and Portugal, since, Britain covers both Dwibs and Chivalry.
Well, it wouldn't be possible anyway, because there was an Asterix in Spain book, because Portugal didn't exist in 50 BC, so it wouldn't be possible to have an Asterix in Portugal anyway.
The Iberian region was considered as united back then.
Wait, it's got the composer from Top Gun?
For the movie that takes place in America, this one, English-wise, only has a British dub, whereas
it's done by Germans, like The Magic Voyage.
It's funny because the next film will be the one with an American dub.
From what I heard, this does not have a gag dub like that one, so at the very least we should be spared from people constantly yelling.
So is Don DeLuise in this movie?
Okay. From what I understand, while that dub in The Magic Voyage was terrible, I feel like that was still apparently to the filmmaker's wishes or whatnot.
Movie shit anyway, and it's a story for another time.
So, but yeah, as we have noted, over time it seems that France was more okay with other countries taking a crack at doing adaptations of Asterix stories, for one reason or another, one of which being potentially better production values or more exposure. This, from what I can recall, is one of the good ones. See, I actually originally saw this movie way back on YouTube at some point, around when we were first starting these commentaries. It doesn't seem to be on YouTube, or at least, not in, the nice and free sense anyway.
Also, my memory is definitely fuzzy on this one. It's been a very long time since I saw it. But so because of that, again, this is a movie that talks about, the pre-colonization America, which means we have to deal with the natives. Now, I forgot actually how this movie actually portrays them, so I literally don't remember what to expect on that front.
Probably not good.
What I do know is that part of the original tale is actually literally cut away because they probably felt it wasn't fit, but it will actually be repurposed for the Vikings movie, and the overall premise is slightly different.
Right, Asterix the Great Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is that, in a sense, Asterix conquers America and Asterix and the Vikings are sort of
complementary a bit, but not that much.
Interesting.
Alright,
so so basically start after the 20th Century Fox logo, or whatever cut or distribution version you're looking at. Start where the movie starts.
Because of the couple different companies distributed, so we could just for a better be in sync with us. Take us away, Drover.
Alright, here we go in 3, 2, 1, click. So our story starts
the final
in
frontier.
Space.
Yes.
A very
they made a book where aliens come. I guess at this point might as well.
Yeah, that's a good segue. I did try to do some research, and I honestly think I found a proper explanation on some of the.
And by America, you mean space.
Well, don't you know, Dwibs? Everywhere is America by this point.
It's interesting because it's interesting because in my country the book is called something different.
The Great Crossing, that's what it was called also in English, Pedro.
Yes, the score is from Harold Faltermeyer, the composer of Top Gun.
It's just this adaptation, Pedro, is called differently from the book to begin with.
How
Weird.
the fuck the guy who made the music for Top Gun ended up doing an Asterix tour?
I
I
have
mean,
no
to be
idea.
fair, this isn't the
I'm
first
guessing,
time that they played a bit fast
Not
and
to
loose with the names of the
not to
movies.
mention, mentioning America in the title probably makes it more marketable. That's probably what they thought.
My guess
Well,
is
just
that
the Great
also,
Crossing wasn't really.
also they had kind of gotten into the rhythm with, I guess, some of these country names since there was the Britain movie.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
These.
The world is a pizza.
They're doing the time where the world was flat thing. There you go, see? Told you.
Which apparently, as the years go by, it seems to be even more outdated. So hilarious.
Julius Caesar was the big cheese.
Heh.
Yeah. Julius Caesar.
Look at that 3D
by,
CGI.
Huh,
By
it's
the late
actually
Henry
one of the better
McGee.
used ones of the 90s.
Top of Gore? Or Al Gore?
Gaul. That's what France was named at the time.
Yeah, our village.
Yeah.
Ha ha
Ha
Very,
ha ha
very funny
ha.
narrator. By the way,
I
who
always
are you?
assumed that was the pun of the series.
Sure.
He's not as smart as he thinks he sounds. Oh, good. We remembered his name is Getafix again.
Yeah, I really don't know what happened with the big
Yeah.
fight.
Getafix.
what is it?
I actually know his actor.
Go on.
He's voiced by Jeffrey Baildon, who plays the professor in the British version of the game show Fort Boyard, which is a French game show initially.
What's with this music?
Well, Theo, weird over-the-top music in Asterix movies at this point is kind of tradition, so...
Again, remember, but this is from the Top Gun composer. It just feels odd.
I know.
Oh.
Theo, probably what happened was, hey, guy, go nuts. And he went nuts.
Also, one.
Ow.
Also, this is actually a location where they actually showcase one of the. It's sort of a running gag. Occasionally, some small animal ingest some a potion and actually beat up what they were their predators.
It's like that Mickey
And
Mouse short.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I can already tell that they're going to be doing the Luca thing where the Romans randomly speak certain Italian words.
Well, they did that already in a couple of the previous ones.
Yeah.
Being silent. That accent. God.
Truly Britain's greatest.
It's a Brit trying to sound Italian.
It's.
Well, at least the pronunciation of stupid is not too bad, I guess.
No, the pronunciation of words is just the accent in general. Also, the type of tone of voice feels a bit too young for this type of character design. It should be a bit more deep, if you ask me.
Yeah.
This is the kind of character that should be voiced by Travis Willingham. Yeah, there you go.
The conquerors of most of Europe, ladies and gentlemen.
Again, as we've established, these aren't exactly the cream of the Roman crop.
If anything, I wouldn't be too surprised. Ha ha, very funny.
Because pizza.
I wouldn't be too surprised if it were a case of a training camp.
Wait, Italian guy that yells a lot. Are you sure I'm not? Are you sure I'm not watching the Italian version of the VHS Gatekeeper?
Oh yeah, this detail. This is actually a detail that not a lot of people will talk about. Obelix hates being called fat unless it's one of his friends.
Well, we did add the occasion like that also in the 12th task.
He's not fat, simply big
Oh,
bone.
I recognize Asterix's voice.
Hi, Panacea.
Hey, Panacea.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I remember you
I'm not
from Julius. Sorry,
What
Asterix
happened to
versus
such
Caesar.
comics?
I'm not sure how many people outside the UK know, but Asterix in this movie is voiced by Craig Charles, aka Dave Lister off Red Dwarf, and the second and best host of Robot Wars.
I'll give this movie credit. The way they animate Panacea at least makes her feel like she fits in better with the cast, and now she was animated in Asterix versus Caesar.
Which is interesting because this particular book was actually one of the very first. I think that was like the very second book, if I remember correctly.
No, the second was the Golden Sequel. I check.
Oh, okay. Let me check. Because I remember this one was one of the first 5 ones or something.
Was it? Let me check. Let's see.
Also, Dweebs, since again this is a British ensemble, do you actually know voices is Obelix instead?
Howard Lou Lewis, who died in 2018. He's mainly been in a lot of British stuff like The Bill.
Okay.
Casualty, among other things.
Okay, so this is based off of Asterix and the Great Crossing, which is actually the 22nd volume of the Asterix comic series.
Never mind.
No.
You fell into the magic.
Okay, now let's be fair to them. The gap between these movies is by a sense of years, so I'm fine with the recaps.
Like the explanation at the beginning. It's one of the staples that they have to mention.
No. I'm not pointing out as a problem, Joe, but this is in the books too. In the books, they always
remind that
there's these recurring lines. Like every time Obelix tries to get the potion, hey, how many times have I told you, Obelix? This is something that the CGI movies do too, like the over-the-top.
And hey, I argue compared to the Cleopatra movie, the fleshing is actually better in being handled.
Oh yeah, definitely. I actually do like how epic they make the animation of them powering up to the potion.
Also, it's funny, Jova, the book will actually showcase what happens if Obelix drinks too much of a magic potion himself. Is considered technically apocrypha for some reason.
Huh. Really?
Lads, they're French, they're not British.
Remember, Pedro, it's foreign, so it has to be British.
I mean, to be fair, they've been using British dialect in a lot of these movies. I'm surprised you're only now pointing it out.
And the Centurion died, I guess.
It's okay to remember, it's Asterix. We're operating on cartoon logic.
He just got big boo-boos, yeah.
Ow.
See?
Oh yeah, they're definitely showing them what's for.
Okay, I don't even know this is the Centurion because apparently he goes even uncredited for the English dub, so I will never know who did this accent. Alas.
Do you want to go on a mystery and find who it was so you can personally thank him?
I'll pass.
Man, these Romans are crazy.
Also, Obelix, what have we told you about crushing people we've been here?
He's just being courteous.
No, in this case it's the Romans, so it's cool.
Well, okay, to give them credit, they only go after the Romans who are asking for it, as we see in Mansion of the Gods.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny, Trevor, because the PS1 game instead is a Risk-style game where you actually have to go on the offensive and conquer Gaul on your own.
Really? So you play as Roman?
The Geneva Convention?
No. You play as the village. You have to take back Gaul.
That's actually a reoccurring gag from the books as well, Dubs. Sometimes Goscinny liked to be a bit anachronistic with the jokes.
You know, honestly, Tio, now you made me imagine a story called Asterix Conquers Gaul.
And here's Rome, or Roma as it's pronounced in
the most important city in the universe. Is that right, Tio?
Every street leads to Rome, yeah.
Stop comparing things to food, you narrator. Jesus.
But Tio, isn't Italy top dog at that stuff?
Except for pizza.
Too soon, Glibs. Too soon.
To be fair, I can't imagine people thinking these abilities to ask charity would be present even back then. If anything, is anything to go by, people found graffiti and stuff like, Pompeii, that actually are not too dissimilar people telling my dick is bigger than yours.
Wow.
That's a surprising dialogue for what's supposed to be a kids movie in the 90s. Yeah, I can definitely tell this was made by Germans.
Henry McGee. Or McGee.
Henry McGee. Where have I heard that name before?
Let me see.
I said it earlier, I think.
Well, the one of Caesar. This was his last role, actually, though. No, I don't recognize anything that he did. But it's still plenty of stuff that he did.
Oh, goody, Brutus.
Nah, Caesar is gonna be fine.
He literally says he'll stab him in the back.
Remember, in 12th Task, he's literally playing with a knife, and Caesar tells him to stop because otherwise he will end up, injuring someone with that.
Huh. Maybe Julius averted a dangerous fate by retiring at the end of that movie.
Ow.
Ha 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 ha. Funny.
We should add that to the Olympics at some point.
Funny,
be a great
because
footballer.
the Romans were the ones who actually shut down the Olympics. To be fair, that's part of the course.
The Gauls again.
Is this the reason why Caesar eventually was stabbed to death? Because he couldn't deal with some country bumpkins?
The Java, Caesar was stabbed in the back because he was an asshole.
Well, he was very powerful at that point, and people feared that he would have, lead Rome eventually to doom,
Which
and actually,
is,
ironically enough, believe it would have been caused a dictatorship with an empire. After he was dead, Octavius took over and declared himself first emperor. Whoops.
And that's not even getting into some of the emperors that came after, like good old Caligula or Nero.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
you're gonna try this again?
In the original tale, it's just Asterix and nobody's needed to procure some ingredients. In this, Caesar wants to once again kidnap Getafix and instead send him with a boat to the edges of the war because we believe the Earth is flat.
Okay, to be fair, the last time this was done movie-wise was, I believe, Asterix the Goal.
Yeah,
and...
how dare the Druids be
No,
able
remember, Jova, that was the impetus for the big fight. They wanted to kidnap Getafix and did not succeed because Obelix arrived first with a veneer.
Oh, well, remember, they also kidnapped Getafix. Well, okay, to be fair, that one was more a spur of the moment in Asterix the Goal. Although, to be fair, none of those were actually the plans of Julius himself, at least movie-wise.
Oh yeah, like Taylor was saying, originally in the original book, what happens was there's a lack of fish in the village, and fish are one of the main ingredients for the potion. So obviously, Asterix and Obelix have to go fishing. Problem is, they lose themselves at sea and accidentally end up in America.
Julius, with all due respect, why him?
Honestly, considering Tony J was one of the, I'm surprised Tony J didn't get cast as Caesar because he would have been perfect.
He really would have. I mean, he was literally in the last movie too, as well. I don't know.
It's also worth noting that both this and the big fight were movies where Goscinny and Uderzo were not involved directly.
I do have to wonder if they made it a point that each movie has a completely different cast, and that's the main reason why Tony J didn't come back.
Now this is how the book starts. No,
yeah.
Oh, the Gauls fighting each other. Must be a day that ends in Y. Ooh,
I love this, and I love this upcoming line from Obelix. If that is, if they retain it, let's see.
See, this is just a good time for the Gauls.
Yeah, I want to have a go.
You know what? Considering that accent, Obelix might as well be renamed to Britix.
Well, I guess to be fair, their cousins are in Britain, so maybe that's.
I get that.
I'm wondering.
Asterix's cousin specifically. You might want to remove your crown, my dude. Not to mention that
laurel, yeah.
Yeah.
It was disguised as a druid.
Well, actually, yeah, the cape is to pass as a druid because look
just
how
the laurel that is still there.
Yeah, take out the laurel guy.
exercise, they say.
It's exercise. Look, you have to understand. Back then, there was no TV, no video games. You have to entertain yourself somehow.
Oh no.
You didn't.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty much what I thought. Charles is giving a perfectly good acting performance, but as Asterix...
Well, okay, I'll be honest. Asterix has never really had a consistent voice throughout all of these movies, so
I think that's the biggest problem. The fact that for an English audience, he's so disorienting.
Yeah, he has a different actor like almost every movie. Most of it is either generic Brit or in one case an American guy.
Yeah.
Now now Asterix sounds like he's from Liverpool.
And from what Teal told me in a prior commentary, it's a similar case over in the French dubs too.
No, the French one got the same voice actor, Roger Carrel, up until Dimension of the Gods, which was his last role. He died afterwards, and in the movie after Secret of Magic Potion, that's where it was the very first recasting of him.
Oh, never mind then. So in that case, I had to ask, did they legit make it a point that every dub would have like different actors?
I had to guess, Joey, was more contractual things with the dubbing companies.
Like, but that's the thing, though. I don't think any actor has repeated a role English dub-wise
The only consistency what we got was between the first movie, The Gaul, and the Cleopatra one, because they were distanced only 1 year. So...
It's a shame. It's a shame Louis Clichy didn't continue the CGI movies because those two movies had consistent English dubs.
Again, he did his Camelot movie, which, from what I heard,
that's Alexander Astier. Astier moved on to make more Camelot, yes, but remember Louis Clichy, the other writer and director, who's a former Pixar director from France. He could have, I guess.
I don't know what he is doing now.
Are we talking about?
I just checked. He made something in 2020 called Toon Blast, whatever this is.
Are we talking about like Camelot, like as in a TV series or a series of movies?
It was a TV series, but Astier made a movie properly about it. It's basically the equivalent of Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, so it's a comedy take on the Tales of Arthur?
Yes. He basically started his first claim to fame was playing Asterix in the first couple live-action Asterix movies. After that, he went on to make that Camelot show. Then he took a break from that to make 2 Asterix CGI movies. Now he's back doing that show again.
Huh.
Also, this shit keeps happening.
Yep.
I guess Julius had the right idea sending one of his more closer subjects, even if it's not a soldier, going and doing it. Like he's.
This begs the question, though. Okay, so now we've got the plot of the book going on. I mean, they need to go get more fish so that we can make more magic potion. Okay, gotcha. But at the same time, if Asterix and Obelix are lost at sea, who's going to save Getafix?
Well, actually...
the idea behind this is that they will send it to the end of the world. If I recall correctly, he accidentally ends up in America, just the way we're going.
How convenient. Okay, sure.
I guess what this does is at least set up a way for them to realize that Getafix is being kidnapped.
Sure.
And also have Getafix as well in the American setting.
What's the matter with you? Like, seriously, seriously, these are the most British French people I've ever heard.
To be fair, we did not listen to the British dub of The Big Fight. For all we know, it's just like that.
Yeah, every time I hear Asterix in this movie yell at people, I'm just imagining Lister getting annoyed at Rimmer.
Yes, Captain Asterix. Like, they're not even trying to hide their British accents.
Well, again, my guess is they're going off of the mentality of, oh, well, you see...
Yeah, they're doing that other track thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I know your goals, but oh no.
Oh no.
You know, if you weren't aware of the
maybe with the bad
goals...
singing you can,
Yes,
You know, if you weren't aware that these guys are meant to be like the predecessors to the French, you'd have thought that this was basically prehistoric Coronation Street.
Wouldn't it be more akin to Camelot since that's actually a comedy?
There you go. Even the fucking fish don't want to hear him sing.
Hang on, since the main lead is a Scouser, prehistoric Brookside.
Wow, his loud voice may actually come in handy for once.
You know what this music reminds me of?
Go on.
Dubbed Pokemon.
How specific?
Yeah, the sound font, the sound font they use. It sounds pretty much like the tracks 4Kids would play to not have any silence in it.
Guys?
Yeah, we are giggled there, mate. Bash your fucking head in and swear on me, mom.
This stuff is so unabashedly British.
Yeah.
Daddy's little pet.
Oh.
Let me check the senator who is played by Christopher Biggins.
No, not like that, Obelix.
Not like that, Obelix. That's actually a joke from the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's better. He's faster and more effective
Literally
than
more
Rose anyway.
provoking.
So.
Oh, goody. Christopher Biggins was in the 1999 movie version of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh, I remember that movie being good.
I thought that was fine.
I saw the Divas review of it. I was not impressed.
I recall that movie being
that was
good.
like-
It's been a while since I've seen it, though.
I
Wait,
think that
hold
was
on.
part of. I think that was part of the reason why Donny Osmond's well known in the UK.
I say. Yeah, these are actually supposed to be Britons, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes,
But everyone,
like a true gentleman.
Quite.
but everyone except the Roman sounds British, though.
I say, Dwebs, I want to commend you on this excellent dubbing
that's
process.
easy.
Oh, one is most great. Oh, one is most grateful.
I say this FMV for the PS1 game looks great.
Wait, okay. You see, the difference is that the gulls speak more like a rough and tough.
Well, yeah.
Oh, the pirates! I
You
forgot
have,
that
to
they're in
rem-
this.
you have to remember, Tail, believe it or not, back in the day, we considered it impressive to look at this shit.
Yeah,
The
these are.
novelty, but yeah, as you probably guessed, yeah, the novelty, it didn't take long for the novelty to wear off, yeah. It's kind of like
Yeah, I
the
forgot this.
It's kind of like the FMV craze from the 90s. Like, it was a nice novelty, but then people over the years started to realize, yeah, these games are crap.
The PS1 game had some animated FMVs, but I can tell they were probably made for that, and they were not, high production.
It's weird. They seem to imply these are the same pirates, but these are clearly different designs.
That's the thing.
No,
in
they're
the,
the same
in the
pirates,
books, they're
actually.
always the same. It's
Well-
just that these animated adaptations change sometimes the design
Let
for
me tell
some
you.
reason.
I can tell you, the racist caricature and the captain, those are the actual original proper consistent pirates. It's just the old guy is absent. Yeah, but
No. I mean, it's not just that, but even the captain looks different from how he did in the Cleopatra
Remember, the
movie.
Cleopatra movie had them look different for some reason. Also, yeah, we don't have time for you. Sorry.
It was such a good day for them.
You know, that sounds okay. I should mention, Rick Mail has an uncredited role in this film, and I'm pretty sure that was him as the parrots.
Ah! Oh, okay. So does this mean that he's gonna do his drop dead Fred voice?
I hope not.
You're old.
Let me see. Rick Mail.
Hey, Rick, here's some magic potion. Oh, great. I love magic potion.
Okay, Rick Mail plays Cacophonix,
The
actually.
Bard.
Okay. Never mind.
That's actually
perfect
genius casting.
That's actually genius casting. Okay, I kudos to you, good sirs.
I think they made the boats CGI. I forgot about this.
It's
There
to
you go,
show
that's
the gravios of the situation.
Sure.
It's
There you go, there's
1994
Drop Dead
CGI.
Fred as an annoying bard. There you go. That makes perfect sense, actually.
Oh, that looks like a fun ride.
Can we go again?
Looks like they're about to.
Yeah, this is actually from the book. Basically, they have to deal with a big storm in the book, and as a result, they get lost, and eventually they arrive at America's shores.
Huh. You know, I'll give him credit. This one senator is doing way better against the Gauls than most of the troops have done against Gaul.
To their credit, he mostly got lucky this time.
Also, considering it's a movie exclusive, I get the idea why. But yeah, in the meantime, the villagers to resist with what little magic potion they have.
Oh, and a storm. We all know Gauls hate those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, new child.
Who are you?
Pedro?
You're a good boy, whoever you are.
Pedro, Gaul expert?
No, he's not a recurring character.
No, I have no idea who that kid is, Joe. Sorry.
Oh, so he's a movie original.
Clearly.
I don't know if he's even in the book or anything. It's just there for having one villager saying to not give up.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of that Land Before Time movie with the bad luck thing, where suddenly a random dinosaur that we've never seen before is like, I agree with the Triceratops, and I'm just like, yeah, please listen to me, whoever I am, like.
Well, I mean, well, if there's one, here's a positive example of representation of sorts. I believe this is the first time that Asterix has not been voiced by a white guy. Instead, Craig Charles is mixed race.
Oh.
I
Diverse
guess, sure.
Throw the dog
casting.
overboard.
Listen to your Italian accent.
I'm evil. Have I mentioned that I'm evil?
Oh no, it's the evil sharks from that Titanic film.
Or dogmatics.
Hey, I remember this scene from Zeus and Roxanne. So a dolphin should come and save him. Oh my god! There's a dolphin about to hit the shark just like Zeus and Roxanne!
Ladies and gentlemen, Echo is about to save a dog from a shark.
Oh my god, that is legit how the scene from Zeus and Roxanne goes, actually.
Also, it's funny considering these days people are more aware that sharks are not as dangerous to humans, and instead dolphins are much more assholes.
This begs the question, though, like if a dog and a dolphin can get along, why can't the Gauls and the Romans?
I know.
But you were saying, why cannot Steven Gutenberg get a wife?
Oh my god. Zeus and Roxanne is such a weird movie. Like, it's just a movie that makes you wonder, how? Why? What series of events?
According to The Simpsons, Steven Gutenberg got made, a famous actor because of the Stonecutters.
Oh god. Yeah, that honestly makes a lot of sense. God.
Okay, I'm not. No disrespect to Harold, but considering the past music was fully orchestrated, hearing it downgrade to MIDI synth is a bit of a downgrade.
It just feels odd as a choice.
It seems to be a mix of orchestral stuff and synth. I'm fine with
you're
it.
Gonna have to, in fact, you're gonna have 20 years. You have to wait 20 years from now so you can hear the London Symphony Orchestra score one of these.
Well, hold on.
I forgot the score of Vikings movie.
I was about to say, doesn't the Viking...
I can't imagine it might be orchestral, 2005, so...
That being said, Dwibs, another thing to take into account is, again, completely different production company, since, from what I understand, this film was made by Germans as opposed to the previous team as well.
Yeah. I mean, this movie probably got more, the animation got the bigger share of the budget compared to this one.
Well, Harold Faltermeyer is German himself. Did you know this guy was Italian?
This is an interesting way of letting the lions go into the Colosseum. But
oh snap! Caesar himself is coming to the front.
To make sure, because again, he doesn't want to be ridiculed by the senators anymore.
Damn, Caesar's so intimidating. He even intimidates the lion.
Alright, mate.
So yeah, they're going to throw Getafix off the ends of the earth as far as they're concerned. Wow, that was a pretty good shot.
Earth.
Oh, look at that. It looks like we arrived at America.
Solid ground. And we did not notice that.
Guy needs to get laid.
Yeah.
Well, hey, he can fondly boast to Caesar that he's the one who beat the Gauls. I guess he must be feeling pretty good about himself.
Probably for comedic timing.
I will say that, again, for as quirky as the music is, I do feel like this is definitely one of the better balances of more serious and comedic affair for Asterix, while also being a good enough adaptation so far.
Haven't missed anything?
Basically, the senator catapulted Getafix off what he assumed was the ends of the earth, but is in actuality America. And
also, Lives, you missed a legionnaire saying okay, very in a very posh manner.
Yeah.
It sounded more like a dumb guy manner.
Honestly, Dwebs, my take on this movie so far is we have a group of incredibly over-the-top British people fighting another group of British people who are pretending to be Italian. That's what I get out of this.
So it's Rise Son of Rome. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. You actually, this is a pretty interesting experiment. Actually, try and make an Asterix film outside of a French-speaking country. The only thing is that this is the only film to have tried that.
Wait, really? I'm pretty sure that there was another film that was also made by a non-French company.
The Great Valley.
Well, Jova, I said non-French-speaking country. So not even Belgium.
No. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there was another movie that also was made in a non-French-speaking country.
No, the other that we did so far were all Franco-Belgian.
Hey, Jova, like Obelix and Asterix knew that they will always be friends here in the land before time.
Hey, that's the title of the movie.
Seriously, this just feels like we're watching shots from a land before time movie.
Fun fact also, Albert Uderzo doesn't really like the film very much.
What?
He felt that the humor in the movie doesn't fit his and Guccini's style of humor, lacking a lot of its cleverness.
Which film?
This one. I will have to mention more about Uderzo at the end, might as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's often considered to be among the weakest of the film entries, along with Asterix the Gaul and the Big Fight.
Oh, so I guess people actually like versus Caesar. That's a surprise to me.
Oh God, that's a...
That turkey has seen better days. Honestly...
So yeah, Turkey.
Honestly, this movie seems fine. Like, again...
yeah, the movie's fine so far, honestly.
The reason why it took this long also for them to get actually to America, but while in the book they arrived relatively early on, is because an entire portion at the last third, which involved the Gauls returning and having a climax against the Normans in Normandy, that was completely excised because the filmmakers believed it wasn't really fitting with what the themes of the movie. But instead, when the Vikings movie was made, they incorporated subplots since, it felt very similar, in adapting that.
Okay, this case, I think I can get it, seeing as how, when you get down to it, that does sound like two plots which could arguably fit for different movies, tapered into one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is... Okay, so at first they start, trying to... Oh, there you go.
Also, one other thing I've heard about that this movie has is musical numbers, but we're nearly halfway through the film, and
You have to remember correctly.
So
they do have one in the native village, but we'll have to guess.
It's been a while since I saw this movie.
Fortifications, Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, like you said, Jova, Caesar, if he really wanted, he probably could just crush them like that.
Such wonderful nature.
It's an insect, dogmatics. Like, do you not have bees in Gaul?
But yeah, in here, instead of eating boars like in Gaul, we eat turkeys because, Thanksgiving, America. Ha 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 ha.
Anyway. Also, boars aren't as common over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true.
Did they even had the pig-like, species in America before the arrival of colonizers? I forgot.
Pigs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pig species, that's what I mean.
I'm pretty sure pigs were a thing prior.
Yeah, this is actually a good translation. In the original book, they call them glue-glues because, trying to imitate the sound. And yeah, here they use the English language equivalent, which is gobble gobble. So yeah, makes sense.
Frankly, I'm more reminded of the line from Gilly where Jennifer Lopez tries to seduce Ben Affleck by saying, "It's turkey time, gobble gobble."
Oh my god, that movie.
I mean, the translation of the original joke so far is good. It's just that the voices are so distractingly British.
Well, one of the CGI movies we watched were voiced by British people.
Yeah, but I will argue they were much better at hiding their accents, though.
Okay, I'll be honest. I've always been able to tell that they have British accents. Like, they've always spoken with, British inflection in their voices to the point where, they sounded similar to their cousins in Britain, essentially. What stands out here is just they're the most Cockney in this movie, it seems.
Yeah.
Well, Craig Charles isn't Cockney, he's Scouse.
Yeah. By Jove, Dweebs, have I mentioned that I am French?
Well, okay. Maybe Cockney isn't the right word, but they're definitely the most overtly British in this movie.
Oh, yeah, and yeah, this being a 1970s book written by Goscinny and drawn by Uderzo, this is, of course, where the stereotypes unfortunately come into play.
I don't remember if I can guess the Lucky Luke books also were chock full of these about.
No, those books,
I just don't remember in what capacity. That's all.
Yeah, they had plenty too. Actually, I can tell you that.
Hey, you know what's funny? I think there's a Lucky Luke TV series, actually.
Well, yes, I don't know if it was considered TV series, but yes, Lucky Luke books got adapted a lot more than these.
I know, recent stuff as early as, I think, 2012 or 2014.
I don't remember.
Okay, it's not the worst representation of Native Americans that I've seen so far.
I guess I will take this over what the original Peter Pan did, I guess.
Oh, God, the Red Man. Yeah, that was...
Well, that's the thing. Just earlier, Obelix called him a red man, though. So
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Red Man song.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I can tell that the live-action remake doesn't have any of that. Oh yeah, this thing. So this has been one of the major inconsistencies that I've always noticed in the books. And which is interesting because the Asterix in the Britain book actually came before this book, so you'd think they would notice that. Basically, even though Asterix and Obelix can understand British people, they can't understand Americans.
Well, maybe because natives did not
different
speak
language.
English, Pedro.
I guess.
Okay.
At this stage, Jova, that's what I mean.
To Pedro's credit, though, I think I can kind of get it, though, since usually we would assume that the Romans are speaking Italian, but I guess they know French as well?
Well, this is, regardless, the point is that also this is supposed to be a complete foreign land for them, so that no one has from Europe has explored yet. So
America was known as the New World for quite a good portion of time.
All right, I guess I'll give it credit there. I wasn't expecting them to literally say that line, like they prefer to be called Native Americans. Okay, cool.
Huh. Okay. Okay. I do wonder if this was a line made for the adaptation, since
because this all came out in 1994.
Trust me, Jova. I can tell you that's definitely not something Goscinny would write.
And especially Uderzo. Again, I will mention more at the end, but from what I actually researched, he probably is the most responsible for all the racist caricatures.
Oh my God, a girl!
Girl.
This Count Pocahontas, I guess.
Oh, wait, hold on. Didn't Pocahontas... Oh, wait, no. Pocahontas came out in 1995, didn't it?
Yeah, this one came out a year before.
A year before, yeah.
Well, she's drawn extremely hot, so I wonder if she'll be a love interest.
This is actually a character from the book, to be fair. And yeah, she was also drawn to be hot in the book as well.
And yeah, of course, Obelix can stop an entire group of
bison.
That's definitely sensible. That makes sense.
Buffalo, sorry. You're not Australian, Obelix. Crikey!
Crikey, Dweebs, look at this pileup of boars!
So there was one more 2D film made after this?
Yes, the Vikings movie.
Do you speak English? Apparently not.
Yeah, it's also one of those products that wants to have gibberish that includes just some couple of terms to sound quirky. Again, it was a thing of a time.
I was wondering if that's actually legit, and if that's a legit language she's speaking.
Oh, again, Jova, you've seen the Cassandra Cain retrospective. You should know that Native American languages are some of the most complex on the entire
Trust
planet.
me, I know. And and you can't even simplify it to one dialect. There's like different dialects for each tribe. I was just wondering if, again, the filmmakers actually did research for this.
For a movie in 1994, I unfortunately don't think they had the foresight.
I'm not gonna put it past them to because I'm pretty sure that the filmmakers just did gibberish and left it at that.
But yeah, I mean, okay, some iffy drawings aside, it seems like their portrayals of the Native Americans are fine so far. It is kind of a bit tug-collaring, but it's not like, they're treating them like, absolute unintelligible savages.
Savages.
There's also another subplot that got added here, since Getafix is here, but it will be more apparent later. That was cool, actually.
Yeah.
Ha! Darts reference.
Oh boy. Obelix the diplomat.
This ought to be interesting.
Right.
Okay. So I know the Amazon subtitle said speaks in foreign language, but considering filmed historical treatments of Native Americans,
Again, I get the idea, Luis. What the subs are saying is that that's what's supposed to be happening in universe, just not what the filmmakers actually did. Be more thankful these that we got stuff like Prey recently.
Yeah, true. Hey, a good Predator movie.
I mean, the series kind of needed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no, a feather! What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this one.
Hi.
I remember this joke. If they're about to make the joke from the book that I think of, yeah, this is good.
Oh, hi, narrator.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh boy.
Well.
He's got to come back down eventually. Oh, never mind.
I mean, at least they find it funny.
It's fine, but I actually prefer the way they did it. The way they did it in the book is really fun. Let me see if I can get the page.
Muckifit. I'm guessing that's a made-up tribe.
Yeah.
Give me 5. By Jove, guys, could you give me 5?
Very well, sir.
Give me 5. Give me 5.
But yeah, if I could correct, yeah, this particular character, the shaman of the tribe, is basically not necessarily an addition. Effectively, was present in the book, but the subplot of him being essentially Jafar, yes, really, is something from this movie.
Okay, it's been a while, too, but I'm pretty sure he was not in the book, though. Let me double check real quick.
Regardless, the entire point is that his major presence here is a movie exclusive.
Will we now?
That's Caesar
The
for
music just
you.
said to give up.
It's the Sonic Unleashed effect, where the music tuckers out along with the warriors.
Deflates, yes.
But thankfully, this place, good old America, has all the ingredients needed to make a potion. We really
Including
do
fresh
have
fish.
everything over here. Oh, you know, this is a nice movie for Obelix. He actually gets a woman who's into him, unlike Panacea.
Dog soup. Ah, it's funny. Not for nothing, Getafix, but you guys worship a pantheon of your own. We respect multiple religions.
Europeans being racist against Native Americans. Can't imagine that ever happening. Yeah. Ooh, fireworks.
Pretty.
But yeah, it seems that this guy is kind of their equivalent of a snake oil salesman.
Yeah, basically. Wow, he made it rain.
Right on her!
Yeah, he's like he's a bit of a localized shower. Oh.
In it.
Okay, subtitlers, that wasn't Asterix speaking, that was Obelix.
Alright, let's see what the magic potion has effect on the natives.
It doesn't cause them to launch into the air.
Those cartoons
More localized, I guess.
Man, I love a woman who can kick my ass. Karma.
Interesting use of Hanna-Barbera-esque sound effects.
And there you go, that's our musical number, if I recall correctly.
Alright, let's have a listen.
Oh boy. Okay, it's not like other movies haven't had musical numbers.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, no, this one sounds fine. It's got a nice beat.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not Asterix VA singing.
But yeah, I'm looking at I'm looking at the page from the book right now. Look at the description, everybody. We'll put the link there. It's right there. I like the way they do the challenge thing in the book, where the guy puts a spear right in front of Obelix, and Asterix is like, I think he's challenging you. Oh, you do? And then
It beats him off screen, basically.
And then Asterix puts his sword in front of one of the bigger Americans, and he also puts the crap on him.
Yeah, even that wolf's in on it. Nice.
Is that a coyote or a wolf?
Wolves usually hang out
scrawny, so probably a wolf.
Wolves usually hang out in the forest, though there are some weird cases where a coyote can come up north.
Basically, this is the We Are One song.
Yes, Tail, I can tell. Yeah, the shaman is definitely an addition. He's not
Will be exclusive, yeah. You will see soon enough what kind of plot line they gave also to him, because it's not over yet.
Also, I'm surprised, considering this film was distributed by Fox, and they kept the Fox logo on the copy of the film that we got. I'm surprised. Why is it not on Disney Plus? At least for
If
the
I had to
regions
hazard,
that
okay, you have to remember one thing, Dwibs. There are still a lot, and I mean a lot of Fox things that Disney still hasn't put on Disney Plus, like Zardoz, you know. So it might, if it's the case, it might be a matter of time. But there are also other things where the Fox licensing back then was just a thing for distributing in foreign countries. So we don't know if the license is kept still potentially fully. So we don't know.
It's interesting because there was actually a similar story in Tintin in Congo about a shaman who also didn't like the fact that Tintin had modern technology.
Well, we didn't mention it, but the episode of Tintin America, which was, if I recall correctly, the first one of the TV series, completely cut away the part with the natives, which was on the cover of the book.
As for Tintin in Congo, that one never got adapted because,
We kindly ask that none of the parents in the audience tell kids what is in that pipe.
Probably peyote. If they don't want to do the stereotype, that's definitely peyote.
Basically, his plan is to get them high as kites.
Okay, that was a whiff.
But Obelix, drugs are bad.
uh-oh.
Literally the entire blank.
Dang!
God damn.
You don't say. There you go, guys.
You could have just said he drugged us, but you had to be extra British and
Well-
that's a Mickey.
For kids.
That's a Mickey.
Guys,
properly rude,
would it
isn't it?
interest you? Would it interest you to know that even though this film was made in Germany, it was made in English first?
No. Wait, hold on. So in that case, this is the original dub of it all.
Yes, this is as intended by the director. Ladies and gentlemen.
This is beautiful.
I don't think seriously. This makes the voice acting for Lautrec seem French by comparison.
Damn.
Well, I remind you, Pedro, the rival character actually did have a French accent.
Yeah.
Even had the big pupils
That
and
was some
everything.
good
They
weed
really
last
were
night.
high.
Good morning, too.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's still tripping balls.
You see, kids, this is what happens when you
Don't
when you
do
take
peyote,
drugs.
kids.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the dollar store version of the pink elephant scene. Oh, sorry, pound shop version of the pink elephant
Oh,
scene.
not that poor guy again.
Well, not cabbages. Like, what was he brewing there?
I don't know.
Well, at least it's safe.
Oh!
You had
Oh.
to say it, Pedro.
Okay. Shoot it. Oh. Okay, that's funny. I'll get it.
I don't know, you tell me, Bear.
Don't look at me.
Wow, that bear's survival instincts kicked in pretty well there.
Okay, especially after the last film of these rewatch, which was done by Americans,
Wait.
I know I often say I am an advocate for more British voice actors in big things that are shown around the world, and I still stand by that. The way it's done in this movie is Interesting.
This feels like they're overcompensating.
Well, Dibs, you wanted British representation? Okay. Here you go.
There's not enough British for something? Well, for this Asterix movie, we're going to make this as...
Brit, mate.
We're going to make this as British as possible, as humanly possible.
Yay!
There you go. This is the new subplot added. The medicine man of the tribe wants to extract the secret of magic potion from Getafix.
So that he can be top dog, essentially.
Basically.
And I'm totally not giving you the wrong instructions, so I guess it's like for a plan or something.
Well, you see, Pedro, he did threaten him, and as far as he's aware, the guy wouldn't lie to him, because that would mean his life is forfeit.
Come on, Obelix.
He's still coming down.
Yeah, come on, Rimmer, snap out of it.
You know, I gotta say, I love that they unabashedly legit have a scene where a character is high off of drugs in a kid's movie.
And they act like say slip him a Mickey.
Yes.
That guy can't catch a break.
Of course. Sure. Hey, Dwebs, it's not quite Moon Knight, but yeah, we're getting close.
Oh,
basically,
boy.
When I was showing Moon Knight, Marvel's Moon Knight to Dwebs, we were making a count of how many British terms Oscar Isaac says in just the first episode. And it's like 20.
Yeah, his archaeological side. Yeah, as an archaeologist, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
He is quite British, notably.
Naturally.
Alright, let's see if it works.
Oh!
Zing.
Well, it was fun while it lasted.
Oh, crap.
Never a dull day with you two, is it?
Mm-hmm. What's with the quick editing?
Oh, and now we're in MGS3 where there's something hidden under the waterfall?
You'd be surprised how many people love to do this.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be hiding a rune bear out of nowhere.
Why would somebody do that?
It's funny.
Uh-oh.
Actually did hide a bear, I forgot.
Huh.
Huh.
That's clever. Unfortunately, Asterix does not have the potion, so... yeah.
Okay, now it sounds to me like Craig Charles is getting his Robot Wars presenting audition 4 years early.
Did Asterix forgot his brain cells in this movie?
Eh?
To be fair, he just let the vials slip for a bit. I don't think.
Yeah, just like what happened also in the village. It feels like the running gag is very slippery, but it's not.
Butterfingers. Like, you don't have to be dumb to have Butterfingers.
We actually did establish earlier in this movie that he's a Butterfingers.
Okay, now every time I see a dead animated bear in a movie, now I'm imagining that fake alternate ending from the Yogi Bear film where Yogi gets killed by his friend and gets turned into a rug. Get it? Because Craig Charles's character in Red Dwarf loves Indian food.
Wait, but
This predates it though.
True, yeah.
Well, no, this came out in 1994. Red Dwarf started in 1988.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
That's what. Yeah, amnesia. That's what Phoenix Wright should have done when he got amnesia. Eat 30 pounds of pork.
Little did you know, too, that the cure for amnesia was actually discovered in the year 50 BC. It's just that it got lost somewhere.
Also, another song.
Oh, we have to say goodbye.
I'm actually wondering if they're going to do a specific moment from the book after this. Let's see.
And now we've got the say goodbye song.
Right with the ballad.
I get it. I get what they're doing. They're trying to do like a mock version of the American anthem or something.
We don't really have an anthem that mentions saying goodbye.
Well, sorry. What's the Star Spangled Banner? What's the?
I get what Joe Pedro means. Java is that the intonation wants to replicate the whole woman oversings the national anthem before a football match.
The way the anthem goes is, "Oh, say can."
Oh, no, I know the lyrics.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about
know.
the tone of singing.
Fine, I'll rephrase it.
I get what
a
Pedro
mock
is
version
saying.
of Star Spangled Banner. There you go.
Okay, I need to have a listen to it. That woman sounds French.
I'm pretty sure she's British like everyone else.
The one
let me
who's
get
singing.
this straight. So let me get this straight. The French sound British. The Italians sound like British turning to sound Italian, and the Americans sound like French.
Actually, okay. Actually, I was talking about the singer who sounded French.
Okay. Putting aside that is just a generic goodbye ballad, having a ballad like this for a group of people in the movie whom we've barely seen, yeah.
Well, to be fair, the ballad seems to be more playing off of their journey home.
I think, well, I get in a similar way to what we said. I get the idea they should have been in the credits.
Yeah, I might as well talk about it since they didn't do the thing. Okay, in the original book, they actually try to signal for a boat to take them off the shore, and Asterix tries to signal, and they do and Asterix does the pose that Lady Liberty does. You can see right there.
Liberty,
You can see right there. So that's cute. I was kind of hoping they would have at least recreate that in the movie, but alas. Stop saying lads. You're supposed to be French.
Okay. To be fair, those are the pirates. They seem to come from all different backgrounds, so it's fine with them.
That's the thing about these kinds of movies where the French revolutionaries or the Romans or the Vikings all sound British for some reason.
Which means land must be nearby. Wow, look at that, Tia. One of the few times the seagull is good news. And not a moment too soon either, because remember, we also have the conflict going on with the Romans back home.
I don't think that's a kettle.
I love how the music just suddenly switched to dun dun dun.
Well, again, it is kind of a serious matter given how the Romans are wearing down the Gauls.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
Even in terms of music quality, I think this is a bit of a downgrade from even Faltermeyer's efforts in Top Gun. Like, the synth in that one was very lush and well produced. This is just cheap.
Like I said, Dibs, most of the budget went to the animation, clearly. Not to mention the cast.
Oh my god. Someone's
the
actually left.
came into helpfulness, I guess.
Okay, I want to hear how Rick Mail sounds.
Oh snap, so there you go. The Romans have actually captured the Gauls, which means that this is legit the closest that Caesar has come to a legit victory. Which again, does show that when Caesar comes to the front, that's when things get very real. You know, honestly, despite... Okay, you know what's sad, honestly? This feels like more of an actual Asterix versus Caesar movie than the actual Asterix versus Caesar movie.
If anything, the title, I had to kind of agree. Conquers America doesn't really fit with what happened. Some countries like mine actually name it Asterix in America, which is a bit more fitting because that still happens. But Jova still has a point.
And also, unlike Asterix versus Caesar, while Caesar is definitely a more serious opponent,
so there
he
you
doesn't...
go. Caesar being the plotting schemer that he loves to be is that in the wars for the centuries, the ruins of a Gallic village, he can do whatever he wants there.
Well, but, hey, it's a lot of land. And
yeah,
oh my...
to the center is just a shithole, so...
In the meantime...
The Romans are celebrating that they finally got a W. And you know what? To their credit, as far as they know, they've won.
See, and here we have a Roman who's not even who, unlike the others, is not trying to sound Italian. He just sounds plain British.
Okay, I've been looking.
Well, don't you see, Pedro? Being drunk makes you sound British.
Okay, I've looked up the original comic for this film. And I love how you can get the Italian version on Kindle here in the UK.
Kindle?
But, I can't really find the actual English
about...
version.
Are you talking about the book, aren't you?
Yeah. That's okay, Liz. Hold on. Give me a moment.
Aside from in an omnibus.
Like, yeah, the senator did do a good job getting Getafix out of the way, but when it came to directing the troops to, get their crap together, That seems to be mainly attributed to Caesar, who is about to get his parade rained on. And the worst thing is that the Romans are drunk, so yeah, they can't even put up a fight.
Much more chance of being sober, to be fair.
Well, dang. Caesar's pamphor ate well, I see.
Oh, you think that's rich, Jova? There's a book where Asterix and Obelix are about to get sent to the lions, but they refuse. I'm not going to explain why because it's a long story. The point is, at some point the guy with the whipping goes, "Please, I beg you, please go. My job depends on this." Okay, fine, we'll go. But since it took so much time, Jova, when they arrive at the Colosseum, there's only one lion left because that lion ate all the other lions.
Well,
and there you go. Caesar managed to escape using the Metal Gear Solid trick.
I'll give him credit. He manages to escape with dignity, so hey, it's not a complete loss. And again, he ironically doesn't seem too chuffed. Ironically, Caesar doesn't seem too chuffed about losing, surprisingly.
You win some, you lose some, the usual.
I guess he can say that for a moment he did in fact defeat Gaul.
Wow, they got the gist of it pretty quickly, didn't they?
Of course.
How nice. Oh, snap.
Oh, no.
Yep, that's Rick Mail, alright.
Yeah, shut up, Rick Mail.
Hey, look, they can get together after all.
Hey Rick, I got a great role for you in this German movie based on a French property. You play an annoying bard.
Wow,
I'm sold.
He's overqualified.
Yeah!
Alright, now let's get down with our bad selves!
And the song is from Right Said Fred. Get it? Because
what the fuck is this crazy music?
I don't know, but I like it!
Again, Teo, remember.
This ain't gonna be a long song.
Remember, Teo, if Asterix and the Secret Magic Pusher can have You Spin Me Right Round, I mean, why not?
Sure, yeah. And besides, oh yeah, this song, this definitely came out of the 90s. I love it.
It does feel like that pop techno.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say it. This is a pretty good movie. Definitely one of the better Asterix movies we've seen in a while.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Final thoughts, James?
Well, it's certainly one of the more
British
interesting Asterix films I've seen. Okay, I'll start off with the positives. The voice acting is generally pretty solid all round. The animation is really good, and the general story idea is okay. The negatives. Okay, again, I have no idea what the fuck happened, but Faltermeyer's score is just really, honestly, I think it's kind of poor. Like it's just really cheap MIDI synth throughout the whole movie. Like it's nowhere near his rich synth score for Top Gun. And last I checked, and I know someone mentioned the budget earlier. But unless he sold all his synthesizers and just bought a really cheap one for the movie, then no, I don't think the budget thing really works here, because there have been a lot of Civ scores I've heard that sound a lot more polished than this.
I
As much as I really like Craig Charles as an actor, I don't know. I think he was a bit miscast as Asterix. I can't. When I think of Asterix, I don't think Scouse.
Again, it's hard for me to even consider what I think of as Asterix because, well, again, to be honest, Asterix has never had the same voice. Although I will say this, going off of the English dubs, British accent is something I've kind of come to expect from the Gauls, since I feel like for the most part they have had them. I feel like if anything, I guess they were closer to sounding French in the American dub of the Big Fight movie. How's that for irony?
Honestly, Dibs, I'm more distracted by Obelix myself, because he's by far the most British of these Gauls. Like, seriously.
I guess that's what you get Howard Lewis for.
He slipped the Mickey.
Oh, I thought it was Getafix.
Oh wait, I'm pretty sure it's Getafix who said that. That was.
But Obelix's voice, though, Obelix's accent is especially thick.
Oh, Getafix is voiced by Jeffrey Baildon.
Baildon, yeah.
Okay. He's from Doctor Who.
The big Swedish stuff. Go on, Dibs.
Yeah. To continue. Okay. Do I really need to say anything about some of the more questionable depictions of race?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I guess I wonder if that was why they cast a mixed race actor to play Asterix. Like, see, we're not racist.
Like, I mean, I'll give the filmmakers credit. It does feel like, going off of the script and certain things, that they definitely were trying to heavily tone down the racism and, portray the races differently. Well, as best they could. The black pirate is still that design. That is just something that has unfortunately persisted up to even Mansion of the Gods. But when it comes to the natives, it definitely feels like they gave them more dignity than what they had in the book, from what Pedro seems to recall. So
in the book, well, to be fair, it's not. I don't think that there's that much of a difference from how they treat the natives compared to the book. But although the book, especially considering how they actually spend more time with the natives here than they do in the book. So...
He also mentioned how they added the line they prefer to be called Native Americans.
Yeah.
And on the subject of the natives, the film is literally called Asterix in America or Conquers America, depending on what version you're reading / watching. So they go there, encounter the natives, but the natives don't do much, really. One just swoons over Obelix. The others get in fights with the main characters. And that's it. They don't even contribute to the ending or anything. They're just there and then they're gone again.
There's actually one thing that actually is superior in the book. In the book, what they do is they spend a few weeks with them, and there's a little montage thing. So I will say that the book does a better job in making the friendship between the natives and Asterix and Obelix.
If there is a passage of time, it's about as poorly conveyed as in 12 Years a Slave. That there's no way to tell how much time has passed. And like I said, the ideas were fine, but the execution is weird. The tone is all over the shop. It goes, the other films at least were persistent in their more wacky tone. This film, however, is all over the shop. It goes from wacky to dead serious to wacky again. It's like a never end. It's all in a loop. Like, it's up and down. It's all over the shop. Yeah.
Well, would you say that this fulfills your want for more British representation in the medium?
I am still a firm advocate of that. Although that's more so for a medium in which we generally don't get a lot of representation in that, like anime, for example.
You see, Dwebs, this is a precursor to Monster Family, the world where apparently everyone in America is British, because I guess in this version of the world, it was the Britons that conquered everything to the point where people all speak with a British accent.
I suppose that's our revenge for how many media I've seen have Brits sound like Americans for some reason.
It's like, that being said, when it comes to the whole, more British voice actors doing things thing, I feel like this is a bit overcompensating because it's like the actor who got cast, Jeffrey, right? Jeffrey got cast as Obelix. It's like the director told him, okay.
No. Jeffrey was Getafix. It was Harold. Howard Lewis, who was cast as Obelix.
Howard. Okay, Howard, I want you to play up the most thickest accent you can possibly muster.
Part of me is actually kind of excited to see what everyone's gonna sound like in the next film, Vikings, which is an American dub.
That one actually has a proper American dub, so
go on.
That's it. To me, this film is all over the shop. I've seen worse Asterix movies, but I've seen better ones. I'd rank this like, say, bottom middle, if you get my drift.
All right, Chio.
Sure. Honestly, like he said, I did not remember much of his movie, and probably for good reasons. Not in the sense of being bad, because stuff like the big fight and versus Caesar, I remember because of how bad we are. But this one is just alright. Nothing really much standing out more. Again, I never heard the British dub before this. I was more growing up with dub in my country. But man, like, talk about being British. Wasn't really expecting this. Again, that makes me curious how the British actual dub of the big fight was. But then again, that would imply that I would want to watch the movie again for that, and no thanks, I'll pass. Again, you can tell that as an adaptation of the book, they cut and lose a couple of things in order to make it a more contained story, because like I said, almost the entire third of the book was about the Gauls fighting against the Normans in Normandy, because they actually accidentally arrived there because it was in theming with their Great Crossing. It was more of a journey that Asterix were taking. But instead here they want to focus entirely on the whole America, and getting there to begin with, mistaking it for the end of the world. And let's talk about the natives. Sure, it's not the worst thing that I ever seen, but it's still a product of its time. So I can imagine, people not particularly being particularly happy about it. And on that note, I don't know how much part Goscinny played up, because Goscinny was mostly the writer, while Uderzo instead was just the penciler, colorist and everything. But I do wonder if a lot of these racist caricatures were mostly stuff from Uderzo, because again, some of I did check again specifically what of these solo books actually were, and some of the more questionable stuff that happens, in books where is actually tied to them. That book that I mentioned that tries to parody feminism of the early 90s, that's one of these solo books, and it's I'll just give you a snippet. An entire legion of female Roman soldiers, which is technically played up instead as being competent and everything, gets defeated when, guess what? The Gauls build a shopping mall.
From what I hear, later stories do go heavy with the anachronistic stuff.
Again, it's after the Fallen Sky, which let me put it that way. Also, which is the other reason why I probably think what happened. In the Fallen Sky, we told you the premise, Jova, the fact that there are two alien races. One of them is supposed to be a parody of manga genre, because apparently Uderzo was going full Old Man Yells at Cloud mode and did mention that he was actually resentful for the fact that the mangas were actually overtaking the comic industry in France at the time. So he wanted to make a parody of them.
It's weird.
Guess what kind of look these aliens that are supposed to represent Japanese people have?
Oh no.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird, honestly, because I remember during the Versus Caesar movie thinking that Panacea and Tragic Comics actually looked more anime-esque, ironically enough, so what the heck?
It's more not necessarily anime-esque, it's more of a case of, everyone looks more cartoony, but the female character is super sexy, so it has to be rendered that particular way. Kind of, the Jessica Rabbit effect, Jova, basically. But again, so my personal theory was it was mostly Uderzo behind the more icky stuff. But again, it's happy to report that after the Falling Sky, the books actually definitely improved on the matter. Uderzo did pass away in 2020. We did not mention that, not from the COVID, believe it or not. Which, by the way, Jova, one of my favorite books of recent times, Asterix and the Chariot Race, does contain. It was one before 2020, and one of the challengers, which is Roman, is actually called coronavirus.
Oh, wow.
There he is.
That's not going to age at all.
Well, okay, I say it was more unfortunate implication. They really did not have any malice on the matter. But hey, my point is that, again, going back to this movie, it's technically fine, but I will still I will still prefer stuff like the 12 Task over this any day. It's interesting again for the British dub alone potentially, and I have to agree with Waves. The Sing score really feels out of place in a lot of times, especially how the previous movies were gave actually better scores with orchestral and pop, which were even in the more unfitting moments did created a status quo. But this going back to instead seems does feel a bit jarring. I have to admit, Waves had a point on the matter. Again, thankfully, from what I remember, the Vikings movie does have an actual orchestral score, or at least it's a bit more better than this, but we'll have to see eventually. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's okay, nothing more. I really wouldn't lose my head watching over this, but I will take this over Versus Caesar and Big Fight. Pedro.
It's fine. There are a couple stuff on the book that I wish they had kept. Like I feel like the montage that shows the passage of time where they slowly become friends with the natives, and then they have a more, which makes the farewell between them a lot more impactful. So I kind of wish they had focus more on that. Not to mention, like I said, there's a really fun thing where Asterix replicates the Statue of Liberty that I really wish they had kept as well. But that being said, it's perfectly fine. Like it still gets the major plot beats done, and it has some good jokes here and there. So
it's definitely a good return to form after big fight.
I have to agree on that, Jova. It definitely does feel less depressing, even in the darkest moments. There is that. It's a bit of a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, what I like is the balance. Like, yes, there are serious moments, but it never feels like they're oppressively dark or depressing. Like, the worst part is, again, when they think that the Gauls are dead, but that's dealt with relatively quickly, too. It's not dragged out like the flooding scene in Versus Caesar.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Goscinny thought of this movie, but yeah,
I think he was dead already at this point.
Oh, yeah, right, you're right. Yeah, that being said, yeah, considering Uderzo was involved with the Versus Caesar movie, yeah, I'm not exactly going to take his word as gospel, because the guy has already demonstrated with stuff like Falling Sky that he's definitely a better artist than he is a judgment of writing.
So from what I understand, Uderzo was like the guy who came on later into the process.
No, he was very.
No. Both of them create. Uderzo draws and Goscinny writes. Again, typical.
Okay. So
you have to understand, Joe, that it was a bit different. while in America you had people like Jack Kirby who could, still pencil and still create stories of his own. Instead, in this, they did split the work until Goscinny's death.
You do see a lot of these in that case. I mean, and again, maybe the guy had his reasons. Again, I find it weird, though, that, so he puts the America movie down, but Versus Caesar is just fine, apparently.
I don't know what to tell you.
I get it. Different opinions, but I kind of have to tilt my head because, okay, even outside of opinions, the America film, feels like a proper Asterix movie. It doesn't have a random bout of rape in it.
No, this is perfectly fine. Like, it's not great or anything like that, but again, it's perfectly fine for what it is. It gets the job done, honestly. I mean, we could do better, yes, but at the same time, we could do quite worse.
Coolio.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for what it is. Honestly, this is again, like I said, Uderzos was not has already proven that he's not exactly the best judge of good writing for these things. So I'm not exactly going to take his word as gospel. Considering he was involved in Versus Caesar, he's. I'll take this over that definitely, because this is made by Germans, but you can tell the people who made this movie at the very least understood the basics of what Asterix is supposed to be about.
Also, a better people go in America German animated movie than the Magic Voyage. I can tell that.
I mean, this is by no means perfect, but you can tell the people who made this movie actually fucking get the source material, at least.
And of course it's better, Teal, because we actually do get moments of silence. Oh, God. I cannot wait for you guys to actually see Magic Voyage, because the reviews are not jossing. Like, no. That movie legit has not a second of silence.
Oh, no, I'm aware. Although I'll still take that over Felix the Cat, the movie, because that one is just... My God.
The Sonic 06.
What?
The point is, this is a perfectly fine adaptation. It's, that's it. Go on, Jova.
So I might be the odd one out, but I legit had a great fun time with this movie. Like, I saw it back, and I definitely thought it was one of the best. I'm not sure if I'd say it's, like, one of the uber best, but I definitely put it more in the upper tier of the movies here. That's not to say, the other movies are bad. Like, no, the only ones I really would consider bad are, Versus Caesar. I already said that with the big fight. It's definitely one of the lesser films, but I wouldn't even necessarily call that film bad, just, weak. But no, America feels like it has, first off, a good balance in tone. Yes, it has serious moments, but the comedic moments feel like they at least flow well enough into the serious moments, so it doesn't feel absolutely stop-and-go jarring like in Versus Caesar. The voice acting. It is unapologetically British. And you know what? I love it. Don't get me wrong, it's not my favorite cast by any means. Ironically, I feel like the cast in The Big Fight may have actually kinda done a better job, strictly speaking about the American dub. I still do feel like, for me, the definitive way that the characters should sound like is in 12 Tasks.
Yeah, I can agree with that in terms of English dub.
I do... Now, things I appreciate about this movie. First of all, again, how they handle Caesar. Yeah, his plan is to get the Gauls killed, but he doesn't feel like, mercilessly evil like he did in Versus Caesar. And again, despite the fact that he kind of had victory snatched away from him, he's kind of a... Well, he loses with grace, surprisingly. I guess, in a sense, even in defeat, he maintains his dignity. And hey, he escapes using a metal gear tactic by literally telling a Gaul off that he's just a barrel, so shove off.
Although it's interesting, the shot at the end shows that he keeps the barrel, but usually in Western cartoons, that joke is reserved for usually when someone loses everything in a poker match and they don't have clothes anymore.
Maybe it's metaphorical for saying that he lost his victory?
I guess, maybe, who knows.
Also, weirdly enough, It's the panther eats the senator, even though it seemed like they were hinting that the lion would be the one to go after the senator.
He's also a movie-exclusive character, so I get the idea why they had to get rid of him.
That's there. Although, if anything, I thought it would have been the lion who ate him, since it was the lion they foreshadowed as having. Yeah, but no, it's the panther. I mean, I'm not too chuffed about that, and again, it's a way to write him out, essentially. Yeah, I'll give this movie credit. It has... Okay, continuity has never been this series' absolute strong suit, but it does have a sense of continuity, which may be kind of a first at this point in the series.
Well, it depends. Remember, the series was conceived mostly as an anthology, and only some elements of continuity were kept just for, keeping the bare minimum. But otherwise, it was more of a case of episode of a week kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the animation definitely is one of this movie's strongest points. It's a big step up in quality. It even got some CGI in there for the grandiose scenes, I'm sure is what they were setting it up to be. Yeah, some of them have aged well, but my god, this movie is a perfect time capsule of 90s stuff. Right down to the songs. Oh dear lord, I adore these songs for the 90s-ness of them. And honestly, they're good listens as well. And hey, Obelix gets a girlfriend who he has to say goodbye to. Although, at least in this one, it gives him a much better tie-off than whatever the hell they were doing with Panacea and versus Caesar.
Which, remember, those show up in this movie.
And again, like I said, the way she's animated in this movie makes her feel more in line with the cast than in
what happened
versus
to
Caesar.
Comics? They're supposed to be a couple in this movie.
He's so bland, the filmmakers forgot all about him.
Fair enough.
But why did they remember Panacea? Oh, wait, right, yeah.
To set up Obelix getting a new girlfriend.
Yeah, like Panacea isn't even in the original book. If I remember correctly, I think
she was like a one-off, honestly. At the end of the Legionary, they just, both her and Tragic Comics go away on a honeymoon, and I don't think they ever
she does come back in Asterix and the La Traviata, one of the Uderzo only books.
Okay.
The sad part is that, like I said, yeah, while Uderzo did do some bad decisions after Goscinny died, I will argue he's still in the early days of him working without Goscinny. I will argue he still made a few good books here and there.
I do wonder if it was a thing of savaging some what's the term, archive stories that were conceptualized.
Who knows?
What you're describing sounds like a classic case where one half of the team was lost, the other half had tried but did not exactly succeed.
There's one in particular that I really like, Joe, called Son of Asterix, and let's just say the plot twist of who that baby turns out to be is a really cool surprise.
Let me guess, Son of Asterix is like one of those generational stories that's about the new cast of...
Not at all. Basically, Joe, someone drops a baby on Asterix's door, and the plot twists... I might as well say since no repetition. The plot twist turns out it's Cleopatra and Caesar's baby. Basically, Brutus was trying to kill the son of Cleopatra and Caesar, because he was jealous that he was going to take the empire from him. And Cleopatra, since she trusts the Gauls, she decided to. Again, it's a really fun idea.
That is a fun idea. Actually, is the series still going to this day?
Yes.
I know writers. The new books are fine.
Like I said, my favorite is still the Chariot Race of the new ones.
The new books are fine, but there's just, I don't know, like, to me, the old magic from the original duo is not quite there.
I'm curious.
I actually think Alexander Astier and Louis Clichy, the filmmakers from the CGI movies, I think they're actually better successors to the original duo, if you ask me. But go on.
I'm curious. Has the current series moved away from Julius being the main bad guy?
No, it's still there.
Nah,
the latest book is called Asterix and the Griffin, and it's about catching the mythological creature.
Okay. But, this movie. Again, I actually really enjoyed this movie. Good animation, good gags, a nice enough fight scene here and there. The villains are good. Again, Caesar is definitely on point in this movie, which I'll give credit to the movies. They don't make Caesar this one-trick pony or a villain who recurs way too often. Like, again, they seem to save him for when things are, again, at their most dire. Which, I guess I'll give credit to Versus Caesar. That was kind of effective. Again, when they didn't have him be out of character levels of evil. But, again, we've already ripped into that movie enough here. No. This movie, I thoroughly enjoy, and, yeah, warts and all. Overall, I find it a good return to form after, again, for one reason or another, the last few Asterix movies we've seen haven't been the best. And you know what, to be fair, most of those cases were because they were the earlier ones, so not as much a refined craft. Like I say, as far as I'm concerned, the only one of these movies that I'd absolutely call bad is Versus Caesar. So, with that said, we have 2 movies left of the animated films. The Vikings movie, and, at the very end, Secret of the Magic Potion.
Well, next time we'll actually deal with the last, technically, of these 2D animated that we've seen. So tune in for Asterix and the Vikings eventually.
See you then.